Dave, half-time in the tie, a cagey first leg really. Just give us your assessment of that and where you think it leaves us.
Still right in the game, which again, anyone who watched any playoff football last night will show its importance, and I think that's probably had an impact not just on everybody in terms of everybody outside of the playing group, but certainly within the playing group, because that can happen. I thought we started the game tentatively, first 10 minutes, and then these games often are about moments, and we had a moment where we have a chance, and then Crosby hits the bar, and then 2 minutes later they have a moment and score. So that becomes the deciding factor. I think second half, although both teams tried to stay on the front foot, there was a reserved nature about what was there. Yes, go and try and score, but not at the one going, from our perspective, at conceding another one, and from Salford's perspective as for conceding. We know exactly where we stand now. Both teams know exactly where they stand, so we go into a normal 90-minute game with everything to play for.
I think, as you say, those are the fine margins at this level. You hit the bar at one end, Salford score at the other. In terms of the goal, I mean, I've not seen it back personally, but I know that there is a claim that there was a foul on Fraser Horsfall. Have you seen that back?
I've not seen it back. Listen, it wouldn't surprise me. I think there was, and they're always going to be in football matches. There's going to be decisions that are debatable. There's especially going to be decisions that are debatable when you're playing against Matt Smith, because it's a physical contest. So, as I said before the game, sometimes things need to go in your favour, and if it's a foul, then it's a foul. We can't change that now. There were some decisions throughout the game that, in my opinion, were wrong, but I'm quite sure there were some decisions throughout the game that Salford thought were wrong as well. So it swings and roundabouts. It is what it is. We have to move on. We know where we stand. We look forward to next Saturday. Now we have a week to prepare, potentially get some bodies back and see where we stand back end of this week.
Having conceded that goal, I think particularly in the second half, I guess it becomes difficult in terms of knowing whether to stick or twist, almost, in terms of getting that balance right. As you say, you saw the Sheffield Wednesday result. What can happen if you do just aimlessly chase the game at that point?
Listen, we're not a team that aimlessly chase the game. We've always got control around, +1 in terms of defensively, or try to. I still feel the way we played in terms of how we went about it was the way to go about it, and we could have played through. We could have been better in more belief around that last little bit, to play a pass beyond the lines, or to play a switch, a diag that was on all game. We didn't do that enough, and there needs to be shackles off. But again, you're reliant on the players on the pitch being able to do that, and being able to play freely in, for some of them, what's been a different environment. As much as, like I say, we're in the position that we deserve to be. Some, without naming, have not played in a game that has the magnitude of this, and will have not played in a game that has the magnitude of next Saturday with what's on the line. But I feel pretty confident that the first part of the game today and the rest of the game after that will stand them in better stead going into Saturday. We've got to be, like I say, really positive, show real belief and real guts in terms of how we go about it, and I have really confidence that we can do that.
How difficult was preparation this week? Because I wouldn't use the term injury crisis, but it's certainly been a packed treatment room at Carrington this week.
Yeah, listen, it's been tough. But as I've said, I don't think I've ever used the word decimated in my managerial career, but we are. But for me, and that's why I said this before the game, for me that brings opportunity, and it won't be used as an excuse. It is what it is. Listen, football is a game in this country played over 8-9 months. We have missed players throughout the season, and I've been in a situation where we've been able to bring other players in to cover that. We're certainly, with the team we started, that was probably our 10 fully fit outfield players that started the game. To take the younger players out of it, Cody and Ethan and people like that. But that's where we are. Like I say, no one's got any. You look at the playoff winners, or the people who got promoted over the last however many years you want. It doesn't say, oh, I don't know, Norwich got promoted, but Ipswich had loads of injuries. it is what it is. You got to get on with it, and we will get on with it. So we hope that we'll have some back, because it will undoubtedly make us stronger in terms of our squad. But we'll prepare with going into the game as we have today. Hopefully the half an hour will do Ryan, and there's no reaction there, and Tanto, the world are good, and then we can hopefully pick a team that we think can go out and win the game next Saturday, regardless of who that includes. Like I say, I've got real belief in the players that will be the case, or we'll have a good chance to be able to do that. So hopefully they prove me right.
You mentioned Ethan Pye there on the bench today, obviously recalled from his long spell at Gateshead, where he's had an exceptional season, really was preparing to play at Wembley. How's he taken that decision? What was the thinking behind the decision, and how good is it to have him back in the squad?
It was a difficult decision, a really difficult decision. We spoke to Ethan about it probably 3 weeks or so ago, and to be fair, he is 100% happy being here, which in his situation, from my perspective, says a lot about him as a person. He wants to be at the football club. He's got a huge future with us, and he'll be part of what we do next year, regardless of where we are. He's had a brilliant season this year, and for me, taking, like I say, that opportunity away from a young player to play at Wembley was something I would certainly not take lightly, and we'll only do it if Ethan was comfortable with, and he absolutely is that. We've got to make sure we repay that in terms of giving ourselves the opportunity to play at Wembley in a promotion final, and hopefully that'll be the case. But he is, like I say, it's great to have him back. He's been brilliant for us. We think his future is really, really bright in terms of a left-sided centre back this year. We've done him the world of good. He's been great, and Gateshead have been great with him. So, like I say, really looking forward to working with him. Hopefully, he still gets the chance to experience Wembley.
Back to Edgeley Park now. Are you expecting a more open second leg, certainly from your point of view, in terms of needing to go and attack the game really now?
Yeah, two-legged games are very strange. I think over the course of my managerial career of 13 years, I think I've been involved in 3, and they are tough to know how to attack them, because you can just go and play the game. Yeah, great, go and play the game, and you look at the records in terms of, certainly look at playoff records over the last 8 years. So Championship, League 1, League 2, only 3 teams out of 96 have come back from a 2-goal deficit in the first leg to get promoted. So it suggests that it's not done very, very regularly. I think it would suggest that it would be difficult for Sheff Wednesday to come back. I think the last one to do, I think Northampton came back from 2-0 down against maybe Cheltenham to win the second leg 3-2. It doesn't happen. So that was important. But now it's 90 minutes. We're a goal down. We know exactly where we stand. We've got to do everything we can to progress in the tie, and that could be 90. It doesn't have to be in the first minute. That could be 90 minutes, 120 minutes, penalties. It doesn't matter. It's whatever it takes, and hopefully that'll be the case.
And I'm sure it'll be another sellout at Edgeley Park as well, and backed by 10,000 county fans. You certainly back yourself with those guys behind you. Yeah,
absolutely. These playoffs will bring lots of different eventualities. Ultimately, we finished in fourth place, and have the potential advantage, if you want to look at it as an advantage, of playing the second leg at home in front of our own supporters. We've got to make sure that is an advantage. I know the supporters will do their job. It's our job to make sure they are in the game for 90 minutes. And what happens on the night is something that they're all pleased to see, and ultimately it's about progressing and making sure we give them the opportunity to come and watch us again this season.
Thanks for your time, Dave.
Thank you.